So, okay. Okay, so we're gonna just do scene progression. How it goes. And we're looking at great game progress. And we're trying to save these variables. Let's so right now I want to be able to we'll practice with this, but I don't know for now. And what we're doing is are saving information as to the last text that we were at and the last um, and whatever progress we made in that level. A lot of times developers, I hear this a lot, is that developers are wondering, okay, how do I save data from scene to scene? And in this game, we're gonna be going through a lot of scenes, so we're gonna do that to the max. Um, so that's what we're doing today. I'm working on this right now on the live stream because I've I've heard a lot of it. Like, how do I save player data, player progress? So we create a scriptable object to save the game progress, and that information will always be available. So I'm gonna set up the backend to make sure it's working. So we have the int array. So this will give us per scene if we need it. And I'm gonna show after I finish setting this up, I'll try to make sure that I can use it, and I'll show you how to use it. Let me make sure. That, ready? Get to it. You have the load progress. This is specifically used for the scenes, and we'll do it later. So you have a scene, you say, okay, this is the scene index. Give me the information for my scene. You'll get the progress data, which is just numbers. For now, we'll have 12. So we'll have 12 in each scene. So we can have up to 50 different scenes right now, and that might go up. And so I'll have to change it and see if changing it will make it worse or not. So let's start with 10, just for the sake of, and then I'll save the information and I'll update it to be um, more than 10, just so that I could see if we can update it while the game's live, right? To keep adding, because there'll be more scenes as we go. Um, the other thing, okay, so we saved the data. So right now we're saving the last scene index. So every time the player makes progress, we'll save this information. So that way the player can, if they quit, they can come back and continue playing. Okay, so let's see. The progress data. This doesn't need to initialize. We're not going to use it. Way. Um, yeah, that one doesn't need to be. Okay, so, and in here, one thing I do is to initialize this int array, because this is an array within an array, is if the array is not is null, we initialize it. And there's multiple ways to do this. I'm just doing it this hard coded this way just to see if it works. There's other data types that you could use to make it more robust, like a dictionary, a list or a set, so that way you can continue to improve on it. So if you wanted to change size, because right now the size of these arrays are limited, but maybe we can change that as we continue on. Because these index can be longer, so you can have multiple sizes. But that's all determined when we save. Um, and we just want to make sure that this is the max amount. Okay, so now we need to save this information. So we have to save data and load data. Okay. Okay, let me think for a second. So you have this progress data, and so we're gonna do the same thing now. So what happens is the reason why I do this is because we need this class to be on its own so that we can serialize it as a JSON format. And so I don't have to structure it in any way. And I'll show you later on PlayFab how it looks when we save it. Okay. Let me actually do it right now. I'll have it loaded. Okay, so in here we have progress data. Then we have progress data, progress data. So this is loading so when we come in, load the data, and this is what it set it to. And if there's nothing, it'll just set it to whatever the default one is, which I guess that makes sense. So I do have to initialize. Yeah, so index is 0. Last. This is the default. Default is empty or just empty setup. Okay, so it'll load this data. If it doesn't exist, it'll be the same. So here on the back end on PlayFab, we get different player stats, and this is the game progress. Okay, so I'm gonna show you if I player information, um, data. Here we don't have anything. So progress. That's so it's good. This will be empty. And then we also have the save game progress. Here we save the progress, that game data. So in here, see, we turn it into a JSON format. And then this saves the game progress. So let's progress. So now we're gonna use it and implement it stuff. This sounds boring, but it's the stuff that. Okay, so let's see what's broken. Oh yeah, because we don't have any more. So this interaction we don't need anymore. Not gonna. I don't even. Oh. So, and we're gonna use this to. No, we're not gonna use it to unlock spells, but I have a thing to unlock spells as well. Menu controller. Toggle menu. Oh, so it won't let you toggle the menu unless you made progress. But that doesn't matter anymore. So you can use the menu. Just you might not have anything in there. So bugs. Okay, so let's start with. So we have menu controller, player, area manager. The area manager just that. Let's say we're gonna make a script called scene progress manager. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna use this area manager object here to store. This is gonna be for the scene. So we're gonna actually read that information. We have serialized field. What did we call it? Yeah, progress. Okay, yeah, progress. Oh, okay. And so now what we're gonna do is say start. Okay, so when we start the game, we're like, okay, where are we at? What are the scenes? So we have, for example, let's say, in this case, we only have one puzzle right now. So we have game objects, have an array, okay, of game objects, and we're gonna call it or locked progress. Okay, so these are game objects that we're gonna unlock as the player progresses, and the first one is a door. Okay, so yeah, so game in here we're gonna say, okay, let's check game progress data dot get, should be a load progress, right? Because we're trying to figure out the progress. So in this, they said we have to give it the scene in. So we say, and I think this can be added to every scene, but the idea is that, okay, scene manager, oh, use scene. Okay, there you go. Manager dot current scene. Scene loaded. Scene. Closing. Get act. Gives you a scene. Yeah, because I. Okay, so we have the scene index. Okay, and we're gonna play through this to test it out. But obviously, the developing stuff is like the boring stuff. But this is where the actual stuff happens when you put the hard work in and make these scenes. Okay, let me see. So, game progress, data, and we're gonna load the scene. Okay, so this is the area. Okay, so we have current progress. Okay, current progress is this. Okay, okay, so we go and we say for each game object, call it progress. Oh no, for okay, so we'll do get the int I.0 progress dot. So we're gonna go depending on how many things to unlock. We have right now we're gonna have just one, but log progress. Okay, so if current progress at that index at the I is equal to 1, so we're going to do 0, 1. 0 is unlocked, 1 is unlocked. So if it's 1, and this is when you're not trying to change anything, you're just doing like, is this equal to that? You have to do sharp at least, do the double equal sign, because the equal sign means that you're trying to change that number to 1. But we're not changing it. And we're checking if this is true. If this is true, then that means we need to unlock that. So we say log progress. The game object at that index needs to be set active to true. Or, oh crap. We'll have to figure this out. Eventually, we'll probably have instead of game objects, we'll have a script that will be locked and unlocked. Because there's times where you want to turn on stuff, turn off stuff. So in this case, we're gonna turn it off, okay? Because it's like a barrier. And as we go through the game, we'll make this more robust or change it as needed. But I'm trying to make it as simple as possible without like getting into the like, well, what if this, and so like we're not gonna do anything until we need it. And then later, if we need to refactor, we will. But there's no point in spending hours trying to come up with a best solution when we don't even know the whole game. And so that's why I'm trying to show you this right now. While I'm like, I have no idea how the game is going to change. That's why I'm doing these videos and live streaming, because even if no one's watching, it's just for myself to say, this is where I was a year ago, and this is how I did that, and this is what happened. And being able to document this so I can look back at myself and say, oh, okay, I would have done that differently. But right now, I am recording what I'm doing with information that I'm given, right? And that's because I don't know what the game is gonna go in the future. Because a lot of times, I've seen this a lot, especially with my current projects and the projects I'm working on, where you're like, okay, we don't know everything, so we need to. One of the things for studios is like we need to pivot, okay? But just because you need to pivot, it doesn't mean you make bad stuff. So there's a way to structure your game to be consistent regardless of what you know. So there's the players, and I already know what they want. I already know what I need to build. So now I just need to build it, and we don't need to add any features until we get the core functionality and we get that test. And so right now, this is like the core features. We need game progress to save. After that, we'll have once we add the other puzzles, we'll figure out okay, do we need a more robust system, and do we need to refactor this? And then will come. But I think that is one of the biggest things, and I'm trying to help other developers figure out, okay, how do I make code in the middle of uncertainty? And the main thing is that don't let it freeze you. Okay, we're gonna build this really quick. We'll try to. We have like 40 minutes. I'm gonna build it, test it, and feature done for now. Eventually, I do want to change how your health. Right now, when you switch scenes, it'll save your progress and save your health. I want it to save your progress, but I also want you to be able to heal at specific points, and I'll have to figure that out. But that's another point. Right now, is this progress? I think this is it. Okay, so we have the information on start. Yeah, so every time the scene is loaded, it will check. is this progress done? Um, and then, so the last thing I need to do is saving it. Like, when do I save the progress? Okay, so two things we need to add, really quick. The Every time I move to a new scene, I have to save that information. Okay, say, okay, I moved to a new scene. I'm in a new scene. Save that. And the second thing is, anytime I unlock a puzzle or maybe destroy a door, then say, okay, unlock that. Or I unlock that and I save it. Okay, so let's say destroy a door. We'll do that. Okay, so let's create those, right? Okay, so track current scene. Okay, we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna make a script for the, what is it called? Crap, I froze. Think. Um. Oh, I don't need to do a one-off, but maybe. Uh, let me. Might not need to. So that one is per thing. Yeah, I'll show you guys what I'm gonna do. I think. Okay, we need, in order to save this information, what do we need to do? Okay. I don't want to save every door I hit, right? Like if I destroy a door, but maybe for this one. Okay, so let's start with the most basic thing. Okay, just for kicks. Okay, save, save. Let's say you have this game, right? One of the things that you need to do first is destroy this door to get through. And you have to grab this spell first, right here. So you grab the spell, you get the fire book, and then you can move on, and you can destroy this door. So let's say I have this door. This door, destructible item. Let's see, destructible item. Okay, let's see. Oh man. Because this is two items, right? So for example, let me do something. Game door progress. Okay, so we're gonna do door progress in here. We're gonna do this. So this way it makes it so that, oh, in the freaking, okay, fine. Okay, and come on. Okay, so let's do this in the prefab. Open. Okay, so you have the two doors. I'm gonna change the structure to say progress prefab. So if we need to, no, progress parent progress. That this is just so that we can have one object tied to the progress of this. We could do, you can do like a one-off if you want, but let's say here we have a public event, so let's use Unity event using. Okay, and so we say public. No, we can't do that. Need to do. Okay, so let's leave this for here now. Yes, the few. you'll have to destroy the door every time. But for now, let's do the scene transition stuff. Okay. So we go to 1-0. Because that's the first thing I want to definitely is so that you can just go straight to the, like, if you're here, then next time you come back, you're going to be right here unless you go back to the other. So every time you move to another scene, it'll track your latest scene. You have this area manager that we have to load, the progress. We'll have one thing in here. We have this door right here that's off. Okay, so this, see how this is off? It's on. So this needs to be turned on to progress. So I do need to change that here. So we will have to do some kind of lock and lock mechanism. We're gonna turn it on. We'll have to figure that out. So I'll do a progress per item. But for now, let's say we need to unlock that door. Yeah, well, okay. Okay. Okay, so let's area manager, progress, transition. Oh, what is it that we call the scene? Current save, current track current scene. Okay, so we're gonna track the current scene. So we're gonna open this up, finish this through. So, okay, on start, and here we have serialized field, game progress, right? We have that game progress data, game progress data. Okay, and then on start, okay, game progress data dot. Oh, and then here we need serialized field, empty. Void event listener. Void. Oh. Okay, so void event channel. Okay, so we're gonna the game progress data current scene last scene index equals scene manager. Okay, dot active scene, get active scene dot index. Okay, so this is gonna give us a build index, and then we're gonna, oh yeah, this save game progress event channel. Okay. Data. And we're gonna erase the event. So this is gonna save that information. So every time we go somewhere, we're gonna save it. Okay, so anywhere we want this, gotta have this. Boom, boom. Save progress. Okay. Now we're gonna save every time we go into this scene, it's gonna save. So every scene that we wanna eventually be able to save, we need to room. Okay, so area manager, current scene. Every time you move to a scene, that's all you're gonna just keep track. Hey, Finlay. Okay, and then I'm gonna upload this for people, for you guys to test. I'll try to leave it in the description, but if you guys want to check things out, index. Okay. Um, let me make sure. Okay, so we have that, and then loading. So now, when we launch the game, here we need to check that now, game progress. So we have serialized field, and we have that game progress data. And so this should be loaded by now when we get to here. Okay, so here, coming from loading scene, if scene coming from loading scene. So this is this one. Okay, now instead of using this, we're gonna do something different. And that is, oh, we need to create a new connection data. What we need. And eventually, if you have the name, a scene index is a of connection data. Saved data. Okay, so new connection data. Okay, and then we're gonna say, okay, dot index, scene index equals game progress dot line. Okay, so this is what's gonna take us to the now save. So instead of loading a preset here, action data, we're gonna load this. It's obsolete. Let's see, the default value should not be 0. It should be 1, I believe. Because the main, this one's gonna always be 1. So the default, here we wanted to save it to 1. 1. So that every time it never loads room 0. And just in case, so that we don't get into trouble, I'm gonna safeguard. But index is 0, we'll set it to 1. Let's say if it's less than 1 for some reason. Never know if it's negative something. We'll just, anytime it's negative, we'll set it to 1. Save connection data. We don't need this anymore. We do want to set max player, max clients equals 8. I don't think we need anything else. The name doesn't matter. Okay. Eventually, we can have something like this. I'll show you. Let's see, like public or yeah, public string party code. So you could save your party code so that if you have something like GHBK whatever or 993456666 whatever, you can use this party code and it can save it, and so that way you don't have to enter anymore. It's like, hey guys, I'm gonna be 9999, and that's what I play. It'll save it, so you don't have to enter it anymore, and you just play the game on the party code. Now, if you want to see other people that don't have a party code, you'll be able to have the settings to change it back and forth and what. That's where and it'll set it to nothing. Okay. And then in that code is where we would use it to connect to a specific party code. Okay, so that's how you would do matchmaking with the party code. With that, so let's in transition. So in here we could do eventually. Let me do it now and then save it later. Party code ID equals game progress data party code. Okay. And then we'll save it because I don't have it. I'll comment it out. And then I'll put a to do party code, add party code display in the menu. Okay, that's what I would do. Okay, so eventually I'll do it. I'll get to it. So, okay, connection data is not here. Wait for fade. Oh, because this still needs to be, dang it. Okay, so I still need this connection data thing. Connection. Okay, so this will be for every other scene. Loading. Oh my god. Okay, so we're gonna load. Now we have everything we need to save the information. Now test it. Oh, other thing, I need to add it to as many rooms as I can. One. Luckily, we have that area manager everywhere. We should have. What I should have done is create a prefab. Current track currency. Yeah, because this is gonna get tedious. So I think I should have is what we're gonna progress. Okay, so we have an area manager. Okay, so area manager, let's make it a prefab. Environment. And then we'll have, and now we can go into, let's see, 1-5. Instead of this area manager. Where in progress, this anymore. There it is. Okay. Dash 10. Okay. And all these are in the index, so we have here all this. We have 1, 1, 1, 5, 1, 10, and 2, 1. Try add. goal is going to be to try to get to 6. I think I'll have 6 regions in there. We can make it all work. Okay, so okay, the last thing, just so that I can track, on 0, we have this puzzle, okay, where we have to, in order to progress, we have to unlock this lock puzzle, okay? And it's not network right now. Again, we're not gonna network it until everything's working. If you set it all correctly, it'll get here. So let's do the game progress. So now we have, and that's what I love about scriptable objects, is that it makes life a lot easier. Because I just did that fine. I just know I'm just holding data. So we're gonna save progress. Yeah, so we need to give it the scene index. So again, we need the measure using Unity Engine dot scene management. Let's do it for clarity. Int scene index, right? So we have the manager instant. Current active scene, get active scene, build index. Okay, so that's the current scene index. The other number is event index. So this is the specific event. So this is the first one. So the door is going to be the first one. So event index, we don't need to put it somewhere, but this is unlocking the door as the first event, and it might be the only one. But we might add. So if I add side quests and I have another script that, hey, you actually save this dude, I just do that and it's done, right? I add a different number. And then the value is 1, remember, because 0 is the default, it's locked, so now it's going to go to 1. Maybe what I need to do is do an operator. If it's 0, it means that you want it off. If it's 1, I'll have to figure it out, but we'll see how it goes. Maybe I set it to 0 to hide it, or 1 to show it. And so then as people progress through stuff, it might be 0, 1, 0, 1, or whatever. Okay, so we have that. Now we changed it. We need to save it also. So that's the other one. Event. Save game progress. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna, once we modify the event, so we're gonna save raise event. So the question mark, just make sure that if there's multiple, it'll do all of them, and then you say raise event function. Okay, so this will trigger the event. I'll show you where it's at. So here, game progress, event, save game progress. Okay, so this will go back. We'll go back to loading. And here we have a base script, listeners. This game data, save game progress, is listening to that. And so here's the listener. It'll just trigger and it'll save the event. So as you saw, let me go back to PlayFab so I can show you my account. I won't be able to show it live because I only have one. Okay. Players. Player data. I'll show you data. Okay, so I just needed to make sure when you in here you'll see the stuff as I save it and as I manipulate. So we'll be able sure I got my headset. And yeah, so I think this should work. We'll see if it doesn't, see if there's something wrong. And let me see, make sure that everything's set. The first thing we'll see is if it loads the right scene, which should be the first one. And because I don't have anything, let me see. Inventory. Do I have anything? No, I don't have anything. We just started. Okay. What's up, Stump? Sorry, there's a little bit of delay. I didn't. Oh, come on. Dang it. Not connecting. Yes, it did. Okay, cool. Now we're gonna make sure that you can. So we're gonna start. Stuff might break. I don't know. Okay, as you saw, I'm logging in here. It's very small, but for now, that's good. Then, okay, so the idea is that now, level 0. This is a little bit big. Oh no! I just fell off. What the? That thing doesn't have a collision. Well, something's missing right here. Oh my gosh. I have to fix that. But I gotta collect the. Well, let me see if it'll let me. Oh no. Dang it. So annoying. Like a trap. Well, it's a good thing I tested it because it's buggy. Oh, I can't do that. Okay. I'm gonna close it. It's annoying. Let's fix it right now. I don't know why that's happening. 0 dash a room. Fix this. Uh, and this one. Wait on. Oh, because there's a. Never mind. Oh man, I don't need that. Yeah, they don't have a mesh collider because there should be a plane somewhere. Hold on. Floor. There it is. That's why. Okay, so I need to change. That's why. Because it's a fake floor. Okay. This one also needs. We have the idea is that you'll pick up this book and you should be able to get the fire spell. Fighter. I don't want it to. Okay, and then this guy is already there. Should be able to grab it. Okay, let's try this now. Oh, it should have saved game progress in here. Let me see. Track current scene. Let's see if it did. So if we go in the data, we should have the progress now. We go in their data. See, we have game progress. The last scene index is 1. I don't know if you guys can see it. We'll zoom in later, but it is tracking. So things are working. Okay, let's go back. And okay, so now we can continue to progress. We're gonna save it. And I'm working on another VR rig that I think will be a lot smoother and less in your face. So I'm gonna take out the arms because I think they get in the way of casting spells. Oh, there's something wrong. Okay, so now it's room transition. Transition answer from scene, previous scene. Oh, wait, what? It should not coming from loading scene. Not loading. Weird. Oh, why did it not work just now? Okay, coming from loading scene. Scene index, game progress data, last scene index. Oh, game progress not here. Oh, what happened? Should be here. Okay, that okay, that was weird. It was there before. Okay, we are doing it. Let's see, we have a few more minutes to try to get this working. Okay, so everything's pretty straightforward and easy. But now I can walk here. Need to make this smaller because this is way big. Okay, I should be able to grab this. Okay, new spell acquire. Use the menu button to equip spell. Okay, I can equip spells. I own the. I need to make sure on free data spells. Oh, I don't have him loaded. So something. So, ooh, the spell granting. Oh, because I changed it. I need to change it to give. Hold on. Oh, let me see. Forgot about this. Uh, 0-1. So we're gonna change how we grant spells. Okay, so let's see. So this altar, spell unlock. Okay. Low. So that's there. Not grant spell. Okay, so we have here. Make sure first. Spell. Grant spell is not that. That's not this. Let's go look and you have to fix the grant spell. Okay. So this has the spell ID. Okay. So this we got an error here. Invalid item. Item ID field is required. Okay, so oh, because in here it says spell ID. Okay, so we gotta go back in here. Economy, progression, automation, error. That's why I checked the stream to see if it. Okay, so we have grant spell. spell E. Spell ID. Okay, that should say result. Okay, let's try it now. I should not have it, so it'll make me again. Okay, one thing at a time. That's why this is good to test. Like go through everything from beginning to make sure everything is working. Um, so this is something that I just added. Okay. Spells. Yes, I have it. Okay, so now I can cast. So that those are the doors that I wanted to save. So then later you don't have to. There's the cosmetics. Also, oh, I should be able to see. Go back to my. I have to reset everybody. So I'm just making sure everything's right before I push to live, so people can actually play. Let's see, data. So now we have the last index, player loadout, and player stats. Okay. The thing that it's not saving is the progress, the arrays. So I'm gonna have to look into that to make sure that the arrays are being saved. But that's it. Right now, exit. So you here, turn that off. But in here now, we're saving the index. So that's being saved. The main thing that's not being saved is the other stuff, the array. So I gotta fix that, make it serializable, figure out a way to make sure it's correct. But see, we have all the different, the fire blast is equipped. We have all these cosmetics that we can do later. And so there's a lot of stuff that we're gonna do. Next time, well, Monday, I'm gonna do a video on cosmetics, and we're just gonna improve. I'm gonna really improve the avatar, and we'll be able to have cosmetics for avatars. And so that's what we're working on: avatars and environment, and just making the experience solid. We can get working on enemies and puzzles and make it all fun. So we'll see you on the next stream on